Oftentimes, announcing a new game can harm the property more than help, as history has shown us time and time before. For starters, expectations become higher as a game takes longer to release.
Looking at you, Cyberpunk!
And speaking on that, we've definitely seen that with Cyberpunk 2077. That was first announced in 2013 and we're only getting it early this year. After playing it at launch, I myself questioned the direction and story being subpar, all while ignoring the enormous technical difficulties that plagued the game early on. Another problem that hurts the most in my opinion is the game being so far from completion that it becomes scrapped. And a lot of reason why this is hard for me because I'm still heartbroken over StarCraft Ghost never arriving, despite it being heavily marketed alongside the original Xbox release. And the one that stings the most, even worse, was Star Wars 1313, which we all know suffered more from the Disney buyout over the team involved with releasing the game. But in fairness, they had a lot of time before the Lucas-Disney merger. I'd honestly would have been happier being ignorant to the game even existing than having to spend every single night sad to see that, whether or not the game will release up to this date.
We miss you, Boba Fett.
We miss you, Boba Fett. Another problem is losing interest in the game. Oftentimes, a game takes way too long after release to come back with a follow-up trailer. Honestly, is anyone even excited for Starfield or Elden Ring anymore? And as a Phantasy Star Online OG, when the follow-up MMO came to the West, I was already too caught up in Final Fantasy XIV. And now Final Fantasy is flourishing so much that there's no reason to jump to an inferior MMO despite the nostalgia that came alongside Phantasy Star Online. Content promised not being released. This happens time and time again. Here's example A and B. Anthem and Marvel's Avengers. After the post-release success of No Man's Sky, it seems that all developers are okay with releasing an incomplete game, thinking they could just plug promised features back into the game years down the line. But No Man's Sky was an anomaly, and fans are not willing to fall for these tactics anymore. Truthfully, I'd rather they go the Red Dead Redemption Online route and just surprise us with things we didn't even know we wanted, like making your own saloon, because nobody prefers a broken promise over a promising surprise. Quote me on that. But I'll keep my optimism high and hope the next teaser is an actual gameplay footage, because I believe I can speak for everyone here when I say that cinematic trailers are just a cesspool of doubt that'll turn the impressionable from buying your product ever again. So, are you still interested in Beyond Good and Evil, or Elder Scrolls 6, or even Bayonetta 3? I'm not sure myself, to be honest, anymore, but we'll have to see in a year or 10 from now.
Hey, at least we'll get another Skyrim.